it is amazing. I was banned for life from Gillette Stadium.
You were?
Because I was a drunken idiot in 2003. And now I interview Vrabel a door away from the police station that's in the bowels of Gillette Stadium.
Yeah.
And I've never been banned from Fenway Park. So that is a great beginning.
Day ain't over.
2026 could be a year.
Right, it is my year. We only have 5 minutes, which is the perfect amount of time to talk about the signings this offseason. So in all sincerity, good to see you, Craig.
Thank you. Great to see you, too.
What do you think is the biggest reason why the Red Sox have yet to make a signing, the only team in Major League Baseball, this offseason?
Sure. I think working backwards from what we're trying to do this offseason is make our team better, right? Give ourselves the best chance we can to compete for the World Series. We think we've made the team better. It's come via trades. And so, the obvious answer as to why we haven't signed a free agent is we haven't lined up in terms of our offers being accepted by players. There's still a good amount of talented players available in free agency. That's a very useful way to add talent to the organization. It's just not the only way.
Yeah.
Do you have any breaking news today? This is a great place to do it. If you have a signing that's imminent or anything that's close,
it's still early in the day. So
my thing, and I know we're very brief here, so we're gonna have to sort of be rapid fire, but the Alonso offer that was reported, obviously I don't know, I wasn't part of the negotiations, he hasn't told me, but it was reportedly 3 years and nowhere near what he ended up getting with the Orioles. What is the purpose of engaging in a contract negotiation and beginning from a spot that is, I think, pretty widely assumed nowhere near where the player was going to eventually land?
Sure. Well, I can't get into the specifics of any individual pursuit or negotiation, but I think the way every team approaches free agency is you identify the players that you think can help make your team better, and you try to figure out, what type of resources you can put toward that player relative to everything else that you're trying to do. And sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't, and we can only control how we behave and not how any other organization does.
Chief Baseball Officer Craig Breslow, our guest here on Ken and Curtis. I know you can't talk about Alex specifically now that he's not your player, but he was your player. How, when you look back on it, are the negotiations with somebody who has left but has already been with you? Does it make it a little easier because he knows, what your system is and what worked here, and is that an aid to you as we go forward here over the next couple of weeks?
There's certainly more known about a player who's been here before and known in terms of the makeup, the work ethic, the ability to perform in Boston, which is a unique environment, the fit on the roster, the fit in the clubhouse. And we spend a lot of time in off-season free agent pursuits trying to tell the story of the Boston Red Sox and convey the direction that the organization is going, our beliefs and philosophies, and why Boston is such a great city. And we talk about the fan base. When a player's been here, you don't really have to do that. They've experienced it. So certainly, if this is a multi-step process, you're a couple of steps into it by the time you get started.
And were you braced for this? Did you kind of know he was going to opt out, that might be a real possibility going into the offseason?
It's always a possibility given it was negotiated. He had that right. We obviously think very highly of Alex and the impact that he had on the clubhouse and on the field. He's still out there, and we'll see where things go.
How scared are you as a general manager or baseball officer that you bring in Bregman last year, it leads through whoever's fault, I don't really care, that Devers is unhappy and he gets traded, and then now you're potentially, today, you have neither of those guys on your roster entering this 2026 season?
Sure, I don't think scared is the right way to characterize that. I think you have to make the best individual decisions that you can every time a situation arises, and you hope that those compound on each other over time. My job is to have one eye on the future and make sure that we're not doing something in the short term that sacrifices significantly the long term. But if you make decisions scared, you probably don't end up making decisions. And so we're going to make the best decisions we can to help us win as many games in 26 as we can.
In hindsight, did you underestimate the impact of Bregman on Devers entering last season, given how that unfolded?
I've replayed this situation a lot. I've been prompted to replay it a lot, it turns out. And there are absolutely things that we could have done differently, that I could have done differently, and all I can do is, commit that if I'm in a similar situation in the future, I'll handle it with as much transparency and communication as I possibly can, and ultimately that doesn't mean that the outcome is going to be any different. It's just being able to look back and say, hey, I'm not sure how much differently I could have handled this to lead to a different outcome.
Well, before I let you go, the guys that you have acquired, Contreras and Oviedo and Gray, give us a little capsule. What are Red Sox fans in for with the 3 new additions?
Sure. So with Sonny, this guy's a veteran who's pitched in a bunch of big games, who's pitched at the front of a rotation for a really long time. Maybe a little bit under the radar, but if you look, this is a guy who struck out 200 guys for the last 2 seasons, doesn't walk anybody, manages contact, so we think he'll perform really well here at our park, and was super excited to come to the Red Sox. He had a no trade clause and obviously was willing to waive it. Similar situation with Wilson, who was even more outspoken about his willingness to stay in St. Louis if that's what the situation dictated. But right-handed, hits the ball really hard, has elite bat speed. We saw from 24 to 25 his ability to pull the ball in the air increase by 11 or 12%, and that's something that's going to profile really well here. And then his defense at first base is something that has really grown over the course of the season, so we think he's going to also solidify the right side of the infield. And then in Oviedo, he's got a ton of potential and a ton of upside that we don't think he's realized yet. He's, we saw early 6'6", and just a massive human with a really good fastball. And pre-Tommy John surgery, his fastball playability wasn't nearly as strong as what it looks like it is coming out of it. The shape has played, it's improved, and the fastball has played quite a bit better. He's got a ton of swing and miss on it, and we feel like the best is still in front of him.
Well, we appreciate the time. Good luck here at Fenway Fest, navigating the crowds and getting the best out of your players here and down in Fort Myers. We'll be looking to talk to you down there.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig.
All right, Craig Breslow, Chief Baseball Officer of the Boston Red Sox, here on WEEI.